I often refer, Bob, to you as one of my 29 bosses, but I'll say this. You're the one boss. Well, there's a couple bosses that in our reporting structure that don't let other people make you feel like you're actually their boss. Is there a little bit of charm that comes with it? I mean, there comes a point where you do have to lay down the hammer, but for young, aspiring management types out there, is there something to be said for an understated approach to being a manager?
Well, you know what? I think the key to make sure everyone knows their job description and, make them accountable for that. But then, you're on a team. I really try to look at OEG and the whole organization as a hockey team, and you have your different players on that, and everyone should have their different role. And we're going through that right now, Bob, within OEG. We've changed the whole management structure, and we haven't rolled out the entire structure, and we hope to do that in the next couple of weeks. But it's still about making sure everyone knows their roles. Make sure you have to make them accountable, but then a good teammate's always protecting everyone's back.
Bob Nicholson joining us. All right. So the Oilers win the lottery, and Peter Chiarelli gets hired, and Todd McLellan gets hired, and we got a draft, and everybody knows it's going to be Connor McDavid. And the perception for a lot of folks would be, well, this is probably, Bob Nicholson's first experience with Connor McDavid. But that's not the case, is it?
No, I was really fortunate with the under-18 team in the World Championships. We were in Sochi, and I was over there as president of Hockey Canada and spent a lot of time with Brian McDavid. There weren't a lot of family members over there, but spent some time with him, got to know him and his wife Kelly. So I had that advantage, once we were able to draft Connor into the Oilers.
There are different types of hockey dads. Like Steve Hall is a former athlete. He's a very smart guy, astute, trains current players, has a feel for today's player. Strong, has some strong opinions. Ryan Nugent Hopkins' father, Roger, has beaten cancer twice. He's a battler. He's a little bit older. He's probably what I would say a little bit more laid back, but he also knows the game as well. What do you find dealing with the McDavid parents?
Well, I think there's two sides to that. Brian is like Connor's best friend. They're together all the time. They talk hockey all the time. They play golf together. So, this is going to be a lot different. Yes, Connor left home at a very early age to go play in Erie, but now he's moving west. His mom and dad aren't going to be able to watch most of the hockey games, so this is going to be a separation. But I think the timing's right and the support's there, and his mom Kelly is just a great person. It'll be a little easier on her, but she's a great mom, and just want to make sure that Connor's eating right and everything's going in the right direction for him once he hits Edmonton.
We worry about kids. I'm not of the gatekeeper school. I think kids need to experience some things on their own, and we can't. And you have children. I have children, and I don't think you can micromanage kids. They got to experience some things in life. I just relayed a story off air that I'm not going to tell on air, but I've already had an experience through a sponsor of the show that just reinforces sort of the modesty that Connor has. He's certainly given everybody the right impression, and I mean, he doesn't seemingly take anything for granted. Todd McLellan said he's going to be on the team, but if you ask Connor, he'd say, I got to make the team. Ryan Nugent Hopkins was very much the same way as well. Is that reflective, do you think, on the parents a bit? Yeah,
there's no question it is. And, I think Connor was really brought up in a great household. And, anytime that you're bringing up a son or daughter, you try to give them the right values, so that you open up the hands and let them fly away. They got to have their own wings, and that's what Connor's going to do here and move to Edmonton. And, there's no question Kelly and Brian are going to get out and watch games, and maybe even on the road to see him a little bit. But, Connor's going to really step out here and become a young man. And the one thing that Connor will do, and this city and fans are going to love him, his first thought is about his teammates. And, when you listen to Connor, it's never I, it's always team and we, and those are things that we need as we build the leadership within this group.